stories, those things my mother said. She told me fairy tales before I went to bed. She spoke of a happy endings, then tucked me in real tight. She turned my nightlight on and kissed my face goodnight. My mind was filled with visions of perfect paradise. She told me everything. She said he'd be so nice. He'd ride up on his horse and take me away one night. I'd be so happy with him. We'd ride from other side. She never said that we would curse, cry, and scream and lie. She never said that maybe someday he'd say goodbye. The story ends. The story's true. Reality steps into view. No longer living life in paradise or fairy tale.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hey, how are you?
It is day 9 of
29 years.
the 29th.
The 29th year and beyond.
What's good to say? Fairy tales.
Yes.
That's what we want to talk about. Fairy tales. Love this Anita Baker song. It deals with a lot of truths. And the unfortunate reality is that as people enter into love relationships, and particularly moving towards getting married, they do have some kind of fairy tale idea of what it will be like.
Definitely that. And I think it stems from things that they've seen, things they've read, stories they've read, and then stuff that they've just worked up in their mind. You know, I don't want this, but I want that. And so they go into a marriage with this preconceived notion about this is what my marriage is going to look like. This fairy tale, this June and Ward Cleaver and the Cosbys and, you know, all these fictional marriages.
I hope this doesn't sound insensitive or what's the word I'm looking for? Ladies, I hope it doesn't sound chauvinistic in any way. But the unfortunate reality, I believe, traditionally, women have been sold this idea on the fairy tale about what marriage would be. And they spend their lives from the time that the little girls, building up in their mind what their marriage is going to be like, what their wedding. They can't wait for the wedding day. It's something I wanted to share with you, a quote by Neil Donald Walsh, who is the author of Conversations with God. And he talks about the purpose of relationships may not be what you think. He says, if you're excited about forming a relationship based on what it looks like you can get rather than what you can give, you have started off on the wrong foot entirely, and you could be heading for a big disappointment. The purpose of all relationships is to create a sacred context within which you can express the fullness of who you are. And who you are is an experience you have before you enter a relationship, not because you did. I think those are powerful words. You need to show up understanding who you are. If I showed up with the expectation that Gail had to make me happy and I did not come choosing to be happy, I'd be in a totally different place.
Yeah, so in other words, basically, going into a marriage with all these preconceived notions about what it's going to be or who you think that person is going to be. They're not going to be your father or your mother or even someone from a past relationship or even somebody that you saw in another relationship. That person is who they are, and that's who you have to accept them to be. So fairy tales will definitely be continued on another day.
On another day, but what I would like to finish with is a quote from the movie Before We Go. And in this movie, it's about two strangers that meet in Manhattan. They're stuck, and they become confidants over the night because of how things unfold and begin to address their fears and make choices about their lives. But in the movie, they go and see this palm reader. And this gentleman he's an older gentleman, he's been married and whatnot. And in the conversation, the younger guy, played by Chris Evans, he says, "You seem perfect." And he tells him, there is no perfect. There will always be struggle.
Yes.
You just have to decide who you want to struggle with. Forget the fairy tales.
Yeah, definitely.